Hi guys, I'm Dr. Caitlin McGee. I'm a physical therapist with 1HP Gaming, and I'm here with my hand and wrist model, Zoo.
Hello.
We're going to be going over a little bit about the kind of stresses these players are under when it comes to hand and wrist health in competition, especially at a high level. Is that something you've had to deal with before, pain, strain in your hands?
For me personally, not so much. I think a big reason for that is just because I've been playing for so long. So, a lot of stress over a longer period of time, probably not as much damage. So,
Can be, can not be. It depends on how your body adapts to it. And what we see with a lot of the top players is their bodies adapt really well. Generally, those of us who deal with pain, it's because we've dealt with stress that our bodies haven't adapted to. The good news is there's a lot you can do to adapt to those stresses. So we're going to hit on a couple of the areas that are under stress and then how to deal with them. The biggest stuff we see is actually mostly with Fox and Falco mains. Those are our two primary patients. But we do see plenty of other players who also deal with pain in three main regions. Region number one, your extensors here, digitorum and indicis. These are in charge of making your fingers go like that. They also help to stabilize your wrist and extension for grip control. We also see issues with your flexors, your flexor digitorum superficialis, which you use for shields and L cancels, regardless of whether you do fingertip or kind of flat finger. And then the last region we see is this, your thumb intrinsic muscles and your thenar eminence. That's responsible for moving and controlling your thumb when you're doing inputs, when you're using your C-stick, stuff like that. So three big things we want to hit on: mobility, strength, and endurance. First one we'll hit on is strength. This is the kind of thing you want to do a little bit farther away from when you're playing so that you're not too tired out from it. We're going to start with isometrics. And isometric means you're contracting a muscle, but you're not moving anywhere. So it's pretty simple. Hand out, usually supported, but you can't see me if my hand is supported on the desk right now, and you're resisting with your other hand. You're not trying to force your finger down with this hand, you're just trying to make sure it doesn't move anywhere. You can do this either with a straight finger or a bent finger. Either one is fine. Each finger you want to do about 10 times for 10 seconds, because this is a sustained contraction. We're working on strength and endurance here. Each finger is fine, 10 times, 10 seconds, not too hard. We also want to do the same thing going the other direction, finger flexion.
Feels nice.
Yeah. It shouldn't hurt even if you are already dealing with a bit of pain, which is nice because moving through full range of motion can sometimes hurt. We want to follow up those strength exercises too with some stretching, with some mobility. These are stretches you can definitely do during your playtime or well out from your playtime. Strength you just want to give a little bit more space to. What kind of stretches do you do on a regular basis?
I personally have a habit of doing a lot of stuff with my wrists. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yep, that's the one we see people doing most commonly. You can kind of upgrade that by focusing on your fingers too. So rather than just stretching your hand back, you can bias one particular finger. You don't want to hold this for too long. 2 times 10 seconds on each finger is fine. And you'll notice that I stretch pretty far back. I'm pretty hypermobile. You stretch pretty far too, not quite as far. That's not a sign that you have problems. That's not a sign that anything's wrong with you. Yes, we're stretching our middle fingers right now. What you want to do on any given day is not force yourself into such an extreme stretch that you're having pain. And you might not even go to the same end range of motion on every single day. It's going to vary depending on how hydrated you are, what time of day it is. You can do your thumb too.
Cool.
How recently you played, what kind of stresses your hands have been under. Only go to the point that you feel a comfortable stretch. That's all you have to do. 2 times, 10 seconds, each finger. The last thing we're going to focus on is getting some wrist mobility as well. Most players do that with these kind of wrist circles like this. You can upgrade that one as well by clasping your hands together and making a kind of finger 8 pattern. It's a little more efficient, get it done faster, get back to playing pools. And the very last thing we want to focus on is making sure those tendons, which attack the muscles to the joints here, are moving smoothly through all the tissue that surrounds them. Easiest way to do that is with tendon glides, because we're really creative with how we name things in physical therapy. Start with your hand wide open, wide as you can. Hold for about 3 to 5 seconds. Then you're going to go to an L shape. Again, 3 to 5 seconds. We're going to accelerate it a little bit because we're running behind. We got a hand stretch like this, fingers curled in, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, and then fist tight as you can. Just 10 rounds of that, nice and easy. This is a simple thing to do. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do straight away, though, right? Because this is not a thing you'd think to do. You've never had to do it. You don't deal with pain on a regular basis.
Right.
The way that you make this easy is you make it a habit. You build it in, you set an alarm on your phone, you say, when I'm sitting down and watching my favorite streamer, I'm going to do this. You say, before I play, after 3 matches, I'm going to do this. Making it a consistent habit is the thing that's going to make it easy. And when you make it consistent, you're going to find it easier to play more and hurt less.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I saw a lot of people in the audience doing it as well.